Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cronin. Today I want to talk to you about Kava and why potentially you should be drinking that instead of alcohol. That's coming up. Alright guys, Steve Cronin here. So if you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know that it's all about how to increase your productivity and focus in your professional life. And sometimes that involves taking supplements or staying away from some things like alcohol. I mean, I'm sure you have, most of you watching have probably experienced the effects of a hangover before, as have I. It doesn't really do well for your productivity the next day or, of course, during while you're drinking, right? And by the way, as you guys know, I do drink alcohol. I mean, some of y'all follow me on Snapchat, Steve Cronin, and you do see that I am a fan of the finer wines and spirits. And you know, at the end of the day, alcohol is a toxin, especially in larger amounts. And you know, if you're going to drink alcohol, it's good to try to mitigate the toxic risks, the toxic effects. And for some of you long-term viewers out there, you do know that I am a fan of Kava, this plant called Kava, for certain situations. But you know, recently I came across an article on Bulletproof on why you should drink Kava instead of alcohol. And I was like, that's actually an interesting thought, because I've never actually considered in a significant way to kind of like replace one with the other. Now this might be kind of difficult, like it depends on like where you're drinking, what context, right? If you're going out to the bar with some friends or some coworkers, more than likely they're not going to serve Kava there, and Kava isn't exactly very portable that you can just go into a bar and drink it, right? But there are Kava bars in some cities in the US. I've seen some in Austin, been to one in Boulder, have seen some in New York City, so they do exist. I don't think there is one here where I live, currently in Houston, Texas, but Kava bars are an option as well. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. What is Kava? Kava is a plant, and its roots contain something called kavalactones, and those are the psychoactive part of the plant. So one of the things it does is it's thought to increase things like GABA and serotonin, these chemicals in your brain, these neurotransmitters, which are thought to be associated with feelings of being happy, being relaxed, being, you know, it's kind of like an anti-anxiety type effect. And actually, if you do take one kind of like standard cup, depending on its concentration of Kava, it is kind of like the equivalent, for me at least, as to drinking like a glass of wine. If I drink a glass of wine, I'm going to feel very relaxed. My body's going to feel relaxed. It'll loosen up a little bit, kind of maybe lean back. My head might be a little clearer in terms of I won't have all these like thoughts racing around, but that's kind of like how I am normally, right? As you probably know, because I express my thoughts through like my hands and the way I talk very fast, and you guys who watch my YouTube channel are pretty familiar with that, I would say. So if you're having some people over, if you're going somewhere, maybe y'all can have a cup or two of Kava instead of having some alcohol, whether you have a game night or whatever y'all do for fun. I recently discovered this new company called Kava Time, and you can see I thoroughly enjoyed this bag. I'm gonna link to them in the description below. Very high quality Kava, very strong Kava. And actually this company, they have a blog, which I'm gonna link to in the description below this video as well, because they have a blog, and it's kind of like a buyer's guide to Kava in terms of, because you know there can be some quality concerns. When I first started using Kava a couple of years ago, and I started talking about it on this YouTube channel, I was getting it from Amazon, and now some of you see those old videos and you're like, whoa, Steve Cronin, you know, why aren't you going with some high quality vendors? Well, eventually, you know, I got through the phases and discovered them. So definitely wanted to give Kava Time a shout out, because I definitely really love their product. And what do y'all think? Do you think that Kava is a viable alternative for having like one or two drinks? If you guys have tried it, is 1 or 2 cups of Kava the same experience for you? Would you get the same social benefit from just a couple of drinks? Let me know in the comments below what you think. That's all for now, folks. Consider subscribing to this channel if you want future videos. Take care. Bye.